Hello and welcome back to the Watford Way. Cristiano Ronaldo signs for Manchester United, but that is not the big transfer story today because Moussa Sissoko has signed for Watford. He's signed for Watford. Come on. Yeah, what a fantastic deal that is for Watford. Moussa Sissoko, excuse me, still got my cough from yesterday. I'm sure you all know who he is. He joined Tottenham from Newcastle quite a while back now for £30 million. He's actually done really, really well at Tottenham. He started out not actually being that popular with the Spurs fans, but he worked his way into the team and he did become a first team player in his last couple of years at the club. Plenty to talk about today as well. Will Hughes, again, as we said yesterday, is leaving for Crystal Palace. The club also issuing a statement about Troy Deeney as well. But first of all, obviously, we will touch on Moussa Sissoko. So let's get up the statement on the Watford website and have a read through it. So, excuse me, as it says there, Moussa Sissoko signs on to Watford. The Hornets are delighted to announce the signing of experienced France international Moussa Sissoko from Tottenham Hotspur. Sissoko has 70 international caps, 259 Premier League appearances to his name, and more importantly, he agrees a 2-year contract with Watford. Now, if Adam Leventhal is to be believed, he may also have the option there to extend for a further year. We'll have to wait and see if that is actually in his contract. And yeah, you can read through the rest of this yourself, but a bit more information about his career there. 32 years old, so not a young player by any means, but look, as it says here, representing France at the 2014 World Cup, European Championships in 2016 and 2020 against Portugal and Switzerland just a couple of months ago. Excuse me. And he will wear the number 19, which obviously Will Hughes did wear at Watford. So that all but confirms Will Hughes leaving to Crystal Palace. Patrick Vieira confirmed that earlier today that Will Hughes is going to be signing for them. So that deal is now done. We can kind of move on from that. But look, Moussa Sissoko, it only adds to our fantastic, quite frankly, midfield options. There was a really good tweet earlier, actually. I'm just going to see if I can get it up on my phone. That just listed all of the options we've got in midfield. And I wouldn't be surprised to see someone else leave, actually, because we've got so much strength, depth, and quality in that position. You know, there's not enough places in the team basically for all of the players we've got. So let's see if I can find it. Here it is from Jack WFC1 on Twitter, and he listed all of the options now that we have in midfield. So obviously Moussa Sissoko just signed for Watford. In fact, let me just take that off screen now. Moussa Sissoko obviously just signed for Watford. Kuka obviously is injured. Tufan joining Watford after the international break. Imran Louza, Tom Cleverley, Nathaniel Chalobah, Peter Atebo, and Dan Goslin. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 players for 3 positions in midfield. So for me, look, obviously that's fantastic strength and depth, but we can't be keeping all of them players. You got to add Domingos Quina to that as well. Is he going to be going out on loan? Is he going to be getting sold? You know, we're not quite sure what's going to happen with him. So yeah, very, very happy with the midfield situation at the moment. Will Hughes leaving, as I discussed yesterday. Go and watch that video if you want to know my thoughts on that. But look, we do have plenty of options in midfield now, so I am not bothered about that at all. And let's read through a few of your comments in chat as well. Alfie saying, in fact, Ollie saying Jimbo's live. I certainly am. Alfie saying, like the stream or we will sign Jack Wilshere, and no one wants that. Do like the stream, that would be much appreciated. Jackie Boy FC, welcome to the stream. Ollie, I'm doing fine. Hope you're doing well too. Rudy saying he thinks this is a great signing for Watford, and another midfielder. Absolutely agree. And Ollie actually saying, yeah, if OK Yokuzi signs, that'll be 9 midfielders that Watford would have at the club, which obviously is unnecessary. So I don't know if Yokuzi will sign anymore. We'll have to wait and see on that. It would surprise me now if he did. Actually, just before I move on, Someone on Twitter who's quite reliable usually has just tweeted out about Watford having a potential interest in Jefferson Lerma. So we'll have to wait and see if that comes to fruition. I think he said it was a potential loan deal, and he usually is quite reliable. So we'll have to wait and see if that is true. But yeah, I just can't see us bringing another midfielder in. We've got so many options there now. I know we might lose Hughes and Chalobah, but we still have a lot of strength and depth and quality in that position. So yeah, I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, hopefully that's the end of our midfield business, because I personally think we don't need to do any more. But you can let me know in chat if you think we do. What else? I've got my notepad here again. Look at my lovely handwriting. So yeah, Moussa Sissoko, 2-year contract. Adam Leventhal saying there might be an option for a 1-year extension, which is great to see. It actually reminds me of the Etienne Capoue deal that we did with Stoke quite a few years ago. Capoue didn't do too great at Tottenham, did he? Then he come to Watford, the 2015-16 season, kind of revitalised his career. And yeah, he did really, really well. Obviously left Watford, went off to Villarreal, wasn't it, to win a Europa League. So yeah, fantastic for Capoue to do that. Quality player. And if we can do the same with Sissoko and get the same out of him as we did with Capoue, for only £5 million, I think that's a fantastic deal. So yeah, really, really happy with that. Moving on, I'm just going to get this up on the screen as well. If I can just do this now, because I think it's definitely worth mentioning while we're on here. I was going to make another separate video about this as well. You probably know where I'm going with this, and it's about Troy Deeney and the statement that was issued earlier today on the Watford website. You can see here, update Deeney discussions. Lovely picture of Troy there. And yeah, short and sweet statement, excuse me, talking about the situation with Troy Deeney. Now, obviously, it's apparent to everybody that, again, like the midfield options, we do have a lot of quality forward players up front at the club. If you think of the likes of Sarr, Dennis, Cucho, Pedro, Fletcher, Sema, there's a lot of forward players there for not a lot of positions. And Troy Deeney would want to start. Obviously, why wouldn't he? He'd want to start every game at Watford. He's the club captain. I'm sure he probably expected to do that. And, the first 2 games of this season, he hasn't started. He's come off the bench, to make short cameo appearances for Watford. Now, whether that's triggered something in his head where he's gone, look, I don't want to be a bench player. I want to be a first-team player. Maybe he's then gone to Xisco and gone, you know what, Xisco, I think it is time for me to leave, because me going to a couple of games in real life, watching the likes of Cucho, Dennis, Sarr, and how they play together and how dynamic and fast and pacey they are, Troy really doesn't stand a chance at getting into that first team. So for me, unfortunately, I think it is time for him to move on. A little bit frustrating that it's come this late in the window after he's done a full pre-season with us. I felt maybe this could have been resolved a few weeks ago rather than during the start of the season. However, look, it doesn't matter ultimately. Troy Deeney, club legend, my all-time favourite Watford player. I can't see any player trumping him, really. So yeah, we'll have a quick read through this statement as well. So Troy Deeney and senior Watford officials are currently discussing the best options for both parties for the season ahead. The striker has 1 year left on his Hornets contract, which will obviously take him to next year, the summer of 2022, and has featured twice from the bench so far this year. I think it's interesting they left that bit in there, having featured twice from the bench, because, as I said, that might be the factor that's caused him to go, you know what, I'm fully fit. Xisco isn't selecting me in front of Cucho, Dennis, Sarr, etc. And I think that's what's made him obviously go to Xisco and say, actually, I want to move on. They go on to say, given the significant mutual respect between the captain and the board, these discussions shall remain private and confidential. Neither the board nor head coach Xisco Munoz will offer further comments on this matter until a final decision has been reached. And that decision has to be reached within the next 4 days, because that is when the English transfer window does shut. I believe it shuts at 11 p.m. on Tuesday night. So yeah, this situation does have to be resolved very quickly with Troy. Again, let me know your thoughts on this situation in chat as well. A lot happening today. As I said at the very beginning, Ronaldo signing for Man United. What a deal that is for them, by the way. Cristiano Ronaldo also gets to play on the best pitch in the Premier League, of course, Vicarage Road. So yeah, it'd be great to see CR7 in real life. In front of my own eyes on the Vicarage Road pitch. What a sight that will be. Of course, Moussa Sissoko signing for Watford, 2-year contract. And yeah, I'm loving that deal already. Seems like a great guy as well. So no complaints from me at all. Should be a starter for me. In fact, who would my midfield 3 be if we played a 4-3-3? Would probably be Sissoko, Loser, Kuka. Would that work? I think so. I think that would work. You've got Cleverly. We've got Chalobah as well. I mean, Chalobah's not even starting in my midfield 3 there. As I said, we've got so many options there. It really is a lot to choose from. Ollie Squire saying, for me, it is a Tabo, Sissoko, and like Tabo as well. I completely forgot about him. I mean, this is absolutely crazy. Yeah, I definitely expect a few players to leave from in their midfield positions, because there's no way that we can offer all of them players enough first team football. It's just not feasible. Not feasible for us to do that. Matt's saying he thinks it's time for Deeney to go. Great player for Watford, but as you said, James, we've got players like Sart, Dennis, Cucho starting, and they've been playing really well so far. Absolutely agree, Matt. And look, the Premier League really, for me, is all about pace, power in behind, running in behind players. You know, Troy Deeney, when he was 25, 26, he could do that. But do Watford want to go down a route of playing with a target man, or do we want to be progressive as a club, play better football, play more attacking football on the front foot with quick players? I think that's what we got to look to do. Ollie's brought up a really, really good point, actually, because he said, can you see Sissoko playing on Saturday? Now, let me just get up the club the website again, because I do believe they did mention that on the website. Oh, I think they've actually deleted it from the website. So earlier when I checked on the website, Watford did say that he was available. He was available to play for Watford this weekend, but I think they're taking that off of the website. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see if that does happen. But I did check earlier, and it did say that he was available to play for Watford. You know, I doubt he will play, because today's Friday. He wouldn't have even trained with the team yet. He only arrived at the training ground today. You know, tomorrow is not really a training day. It'll just be more tactical. And obviously we play on the Sunday. So look, maybe he'll be on the bench, come on for 20 minutes or so, but I can't see him starting against Tottenham. But yeah, I think that's it. I think I covered pretty much all of the news today. I could talk for hours and hours about all these different Watford news stories today, but I did want to go live just to quickly talk about Moussa Sissoko, because again, what a fantastic deal that is for Watford. £5 million, 2-year contract for the 32-year-old French midfielder. I'm happy. You guys are happy. Hope you enjoyed the stream. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll catch you for another stream or video very, very soon. Bye-bye, guys.